So, what's a USP that everyone talks about? A unique selling point? Well, if you're a woman who works in a very male dominated field, too often your initial USP is that you're often the only woman in the room. So, being unique is certainly a start and one that does have benefits. But let's be honest, you are so much more than your gender. So, today I'm going to help you find out what your unique selling point, your personal one, is with two simple but very practical tips. And if you watch to the end, well, I'm going to share the USP that I most commonly use. First, find as many examples as you can from people of what they say when they give you feedback. Think about your 360s, your appraisals, your letters of recommendation, LinkedIn testimonials, anything that you can get your hands on. Because feedback from others is vital. Other people's opinions about us are much more important than what we think about ourselves, because we all, as you know, get hired, fired, or promoted based on what other people think about us. The second way, well, that's to gather new feedback. Ask clients, colleagues, friends how they would describe you in just 3 words or phrases. You may, if you want to stretch, even ask them of a negative word so that you also get a very full picture. Now, I'd hope that there'd be an overlap between how friends and colleagues describe you, because if you do, it means you're being authentic in both places. However, if your friends say, oh, hilarious, with the dry wit, but your colleagues say, quiet and sometimes a bit boring, well, it not only means that you're working with some exceptionally rude people, it means there's a disconnect in your brand, which is something I can totally help you with. So listen for the keywords that people use when they're talking about you. When you see a pattern in certain words or phrases, well, bingo. That's your USP. And if you aren't happy with what you're hearing or you think it needs to change in order to land that dream job, well, you may want to consider our coaching program, Pathway to Promotion, which I'll send a link to below. So you've scoured for old feedback, you've even collected some new feedback, and now you've got your personal USP. Now, the key thing is to use it. Use what people say about you to your advantage, because it's often easier for people to use words that others use to describe them. Use it in project meetings or with new colleagues anytime. So, for example, you may say, well, I'm really excited to be joining this this project, because colleagues often joke about my eye for detail. So I'm hoping that I'll make myself useful. Or this role might be a great fit because some of the most important feedback I get makes me really proud is when people talk about my creativity or my out-of-the-box thinking. Now, let's be clear. Nowhere have I said, look at me, world, I'm practical or detail-oriented. You're letting the feedback you've had do the talking, which means building your USP is really authentic, something that is hugely important to all of my coaching clients. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, just like it and subscribe to our channel. And if you're watching this video because you're on the hunt for a new job, well, check out our other videos on how to improve your CV. And as promised, based on what my own clients tell me, my USP is that I'm deadly practical, have a wicked sense of humor, and I help people get the jobs that they want. That's good enough for me.